Freedom Publishing House, the leading publisher in academic materials across the globe.
IELTS Target 9. Published by Freedom Publishing House and Freedom Academy Press, 2024. This recording is a copyright. Test 2. This is the IELTS listening test by Target 9. You will hear a number of different recordings, and you will have to answer questions on what you hear. There will be time for you to read the instructions and questions, and you will have a chance to check your work. All the recordings would be played once only. The test is in 4 parts. At the end of the test, you will be given 10 minutes to transfer your answers to the answer sheet. Now turn to part 1. You will hear a recording about a man inquiring about a courier service. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 10. Now listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 10.
Hi. My name is Chris. I am calling from Somerset. I want to send a parcel.
Hi Chris. I am Kelly from Fast Courier Services. We are the fastest and cheapest courier service in the town. May I know which service you are looking for?
Yes. I want to ask about the international courier service.
Okay. I would be happy to help you. Can you tell me something about the contents of the parcel you want to courier and where do you want to send it?
Yes. I need to send a few things like a coffee mug, some books, and a jacket. But I would only send a photo album for now because of my budget. I want to send it to my cousin, who lives in Spain, and I need to send this album as quickly as possible. Can you please tell me how much time will it take to reach there and what will be the charges?
Okay. But first I need to know a few details of the package that you want to send. I need to know the size and weight of the package to calculate the courier charges. If you don't have anything that can confirm the exact weight of your package, then you can come to our office, we will do it for you.
I don't have a weighing machine, but if you can tell me the approximate value of your services, then I can plan accordingly. I don't have a high budget, and that's the reason I am not sending a lot of stuff.
That's right. Weight of the package is the main factor that determines the cost of the courier. Anyways, what's your budget?
I can spend something around, maybe $25 to $30. Yes. That's my limit, $30.
Oh. So I will just let you know about the international courier fee according to the size and weight. For couriers that do not exceed 2 kilos and are smaller than 20 centimeters from all sides, we charge $15. But an additional $2 will be charged if the courier exceeds 20 centimeter mark but remains under 2 kilos. And for anything over 2 to a maximum of 5 kilos but not exceeding 30 centimeters, we charge $27 for the international courier. I will repeat the charges for you again. For couriers below 2 kilos, we charge $15. And for anything between 2 and 5 kilos, we charge $27 for the international courier. Wait. I forgot to mention the extra charges. In case the courier weight is more than 3 kilos, we will charge a packing fee of $2.
I think it fits my budget as I can estimate that my courier would be less than 5 kilos. If it is the case, will I have to pay $27? Also mention the time it will take to reach Spain.
In your case, $27 plus $2 if the package is more than 3 kilos. There is another option that you can go for. It is a bit expensive but much faster than the normal courier service. You can add $5 to the total amount for the standard quick service, or $10 for the super quick service. This will ensure that your courier reaches the destination in 3 working days. It is an express service. For that your total would be $39. If you opt for the normal delivery, then it will take longer. The courier to Spain will reach in about 7 days. No. I am sorry. Actually, due to the change in the flight schedule, the couriers to Spain may take 8 to 10 days' time but not more than that.
Okay then. I will visit your office tomorrow and will do the formalities. Do I need to pack my courier, or you will do it from your end?
If the courier is below 3 kilos, then we will do it for you at no extra cost. If it is more than 3 kilos, then we will charge you $2 as told earlier.
Thank you so much for your time. Goodbye.
That is the end of part 1. You now have half a minute to check your answers to part 1. Part 2. You will hear a talk about a forest club. First you have some time to look at questions 11 to 16. Now listen carefully and answer questions 11 to 16.
Hello. I'm delighted to welcome you to our forest club, and very pleased that you're interested in the landscape and the plants and animals of this area. I think you'll be surprised at the variety we have here, even though we're not far from Manchester. I'll start by telling you about some of the recreational areas nearby. One very pleasant place is Stewart Public Garden. This has been public land for hundreds of years, and what you'll find interesting is the Marl River, which flows through the entire city and serves many others as well. There's an information board about the flora and fauna you can see here, and by the way, the common is accessible 24 hours a day. Then there's the Mud Park, which is noted for its great range of trees. In the past many were grown here commercially for basket making, and this ancient craft has recently been reintroduced. The Mud Park is only open to the public from Thursday to Saturday, because it's quite small, and if there were people around every day, much of the wildlife would be kept away. From there it's just a short walk across the bridge to Towner Village Park. Towner Park has a modern imitation of a kitchen garden from over 700 years ago. Children's activities are often arranged there, like cake baking and sketching. The park is only open till 7 p.m., so bear that in mind if you decide to go there. Towner Village Park has a program of activities throughout the year, and to give you a sample, this is what's happening in the next few days. On Tuesday you can learn about edible plants, and how they've been used over the centuries. You'll start with a tour of our hero garden, practice the technique of using them as raw material for producing paper, and listen to an illustrated talk about their use in the old and modern day from a local botanist. Then on Thursday you can join local specialists to discover the diversity of insects and birds that appear just before 7 p.m. We keep a small number of people in the group, so if you wish to join the group, you should contact the park warden a few days in advance by phone. There's a small charge, which you should pay when you turn up. I'm sure you're all keen to help with the practical task of looking after the park. Soon Friday you can join a working party. You'll have a choice of all sorts of activities, from planting trees to picking up litter, so you'll be able to change from one to another when you feel like it. The park wardens will be hard at work all day, but do come and join in, even for just a short while. One thing, though, is to make sure you're wearing clothing that you're okay with getting dirty or damaged.
Before you hear rest of the conversation, you have some time to look at questions 17 to 20. Now listen and answer questions 17 to 20.
And finally, I'd like to tell you about our new animals area, Miners Park, which will be opened to the public the coming month. This photo doesn't really indicate how big it is, but anyway, you can see the two entrances into the park, and the main paths. On the right side, you have the river gate, and on the western side, you have the city gate. As you can see, there's a pond in the northwest of the park, with a bird sanctuary to the west of it, at the end of a path. So, it'll be a nice quiet place for watching the birds on the pond. Fairly close to where the canteen is situated, there's an activity area in the southern part of the park, leading off from the path. And if you just want to sit and relax, you can go to the fountain park, that's the circular area on the map surrounded by paths. And finally, there's a forest area in the western division of the park, between two paths.
That is the end of part 2. You now have half a minute to check your answers to part 2. Part 3. You will hear a conversation between a project head and a student about carpooling. First, you have some time to look at questions 21 to 30. Now listen carefully and answer questions 21 to 30.
Hi Jenny. Good to meet you. Now, before we discuss your new research project, I'd like to hear about the study on carpooling you did recently. I was preparing for a project on carpooling, and I hope the information you provide me will be helpful for that.
Sure. I'll be happy to help you. I advise you to make notes as there is a lot of information that I have.
Well, I am ready, you can begin.
All right. So, carpooling is the sharing of car journeys so that more than one person travels in a car and prevents the need for others to have to drive to a location themselves. By having more people using one vehicle, carpooling reduces each person's cost of travel, such as fuel costs, tolls, and the anxiety of driving.
Right. So, do you have any information on carpooling's effect on the environment?
Yes. Carpooling is also a more environmentally friendly and sustainable way to travel, as sharing journeys reduces air pollution, carbon emissions, traffic congestion on the roads, and the need for parking spaces. Governments often encourage carpooling, especially during periods of high pollution. Car sharing is a good way to use up the full seating capacity of a car, which would otherwise remain unused if it were just the driver using the car.
Do you have any other stats regarding this?
Yes. In 2009, carpooling represented about 40% of all trips in the United States and just above 10% of commute trips. Most carpool commutes consisted of over 60%, which are fampools, with family members. Carpool commuting is more popular for people who work in places with more jobs nearby, and who live in places with higher residential densities. Carpooling is significantly correlated with transport operating costs, including fuel prices and travel distance, and with measures of social capital, such as time spent with others, time spent eating and drinking, and being unmarried. However, ride-sharing is significantly less likely among people who spend more time at work, elderly people and homeowners.
So how do the drivers and passengers coordinate with each other? I mean, is there any particular way or mobile application or community?
Indeed. Drivers and passengers offer and search for journeys through one of the several mediums available. After finding a match, they contact each other to arrange any details for the journey. Costs, meeting points, and other details like space for luggage are agreed on. They then meet and carry out their shared car journey as planned. And yes, there are mobile applications and communities available online.
What about carpooling for long journeys? And how does one calculate the contribution of the passenger to be paid to the driver?
Carpooling is not always arranged for the whole length of a journey. Especially on extended journeys, it is common for passengers to only join for parts of the journey and contribute based on the distance that they travel. This gives carpooling extra flexibility and enables more people to share journeys and save money.
So how does someone trust while selecting the driver for carpooling?
Some carpooling is now organized in online marketplaces or ride-matching websites that allow drivers and passengers to find a travel match and make a secured transaction to share the planned travel cost. Like other online marketplaces, they use community-based trust mechanisms, such as reviews by the users, to create an optimal experience for users.
Wow. That's new for me, as I have never used carpooling and wasn't aware of these facilities. My next question is whether the driver is trying to earn money through carpooling or just to save or share the expenses.
Carpooling usually means dividing the travel expenses equally between all the occupants of the vehicle, driver, or passenger. The driver doesn't try to earn money, but to share with several people the cost of a trip he or she would do anyway. The expenses to be divided basically include the gas and possible expenses on tollways. But if we include in the calculation the depreciation of the vehicle purchases and maintenance, insurance and taxes paid by the driver, we get a cost around $1 per mile. There are platforms that facilitate carpooling by associating people seeking respectively passengers and drivers. Usually there is a fare set up by the car driver and accepted by passengers because they get an agreement before the trip starts.
Thank you, Jenny. I think I have enough information with me about carpooling. I will see you tomorrow and discuss the new project.
That is the end of part 3. You now have half a minute to check your answers to part 3. Part 4. You will hear a lecture about digital marketing. First, you have some time to look at questions 31 to 40. Now listen carefully and answer questions 31 to 40.
Well, in this day and age, marketing techniques have changed. People have moved away from the traditional marketing techniques, and some companies have even shifted completely to digital marketing because of its never-ending advantages. Digital marketing is the component of marketing that utilizes internet and online-based digital technologies such as desktop computers, mobile phones, and other digital media and platforms to promote products and services. Its development during the 1990s and 2000s changed the way brands and businesses use technology in the field of marketing. As digital platforms became increasingly incorporated into marketing plans and everyday life, and as people increasingly use mobile phones and computers instead of going to physical shops, digital marketing campaigns have become prevalent, employing combinations of search engine optimization, search engine marketing, content marketing, influencer marketing, content automation, campaign marketing, data-driven marketing, e-commerce marketing, social media optimization, email direct marketing, display advertising, e-books, and optical discs and games have become commonplace. Digital marketing extends to non-internet channels that provide digital media, such as television, mobile phones, callback, and on-hold mobile ringtones. The extension to non-internet channels differentiates digital marketing from online marketing. The development of digital marketing is inseparable from technology development. One of the key points in the startup was in 1971, when Ray Tomlinson dispatched the very first email, and his technology set up the platform to allow people to send and receive files through different machines. However, the most recognizable period as being the start of digital marketing is 1990, as this was where the Archie search engine was created as an index for FTP sites. In the 1980s, the storage capacity of computers was already big enough to store huge volumes of customer information. Companies started choosing online techniques, such as database marketing, rather than limited list broker. These kinds of databases allowed companies to track customers' information more effectively, thus transforming the relationship between buyer and seller. However, the manual process was not as efficient. In the 1990s, the term digital marketing was first coined. With the debut of server-client architecture and the popularity of personal computers, the customer relationship management applications became a significant factor in marketing technology. Fierce competition forced vendors to include more services into their software, such as marketing, sales, and service applications. In the 2000s, with increasing numbers of internet users and the birth of iPhone, customers began searching products and making decisions about their needs online first instead of asking a salesperson, which created a new problem for the marketing department of a company. In addition, a survey in 2000 in the United Kingdom found that most retailers had not registered their own domain address. These problems encouraged marketers to find new ways to integrate digital technology into market development. In 2007, marketing automation was developed as a response to the ever-evolving marketing climate. Marketing automation is the process by which software is used to automate conventional marketing processes. Marketing automation helped companies segment customers, launch multi-channel marketing campaigns, and provide personalized information for customers. However, the speed of its adaptability to consumer devices was not fast enough.
That is the end of part 4 and the listening test. You now have 10 minutes to transfer your answers to an answer sheet.